one of the problems our descendants will have when it comes to terraforming and using life to terraform other planets is that although the majority of life forms have instinct and will perform their role in an ecosystem without too much interference from us, when you start getting into more advanced birds, reptiles and mammals, they have to be trained by the parent to learn certain basic instincts about bringing up young, about hunting, about predation, about things to worry of, to run away from, and how to interact with other species. Now, if you're establishing an ecosystem and going through the ecopsis process on a planet which has previously had no life on it, and you're building this triangle with the predators at the top and the bacteria at the bottom, then you're going to get about 3/4 of the way up before you start to come across this problem. So it's a case of building layer by layer by layer according to what's available for the next generation of creatures to actually subsist on. So when you get about here, you'll come across animals that are more advanced and need training from a parent animal. Now, it's probable that you won't be taking a living animal to another planet, be it Mars, Venus, or somewhere further afield, because it's going to be quite complicated to keep them alive on a long journey that may be months or even years. So probably what you'll do is you'll take them in DNA in computer memory format and create the animal from the DNA on the planet. So you'll create a cell and you'll restructure, resequence the DNA and put it into the cell and actually grow the animal. So once you've got past the phase of a fetus and you've actually got an infant, you then have to think about how you're going to bring it up. And one of the things that humans, biologists do on Earth is, for example, if they're trying to bring up young bustard on Salisbury Plain in England, they will dress as bustards and attempt to look like bustards. However, they still have the human gait, they still have the human smell and the human body form, even if they have odd colour markings and an odd headpiece. So the young may come to associate human beings, human smell, human gait as related to food and security, which is definitely not what you want. So probably the best way forward would be to use animatronics. So in a few hundred years' times, when artificial intelligence is a lot better, then what you can do is actually create a machine to look like the original animal and potentially to smell like it as well. So you can cover it with artificial fur, you can make it behave in the way that the parent animal should behave. So if you're trying to bring up a young tiger cub, for example, the parent animatronic creature will show the young infant tiger cub how to actually hunt, what to avoid, what other animals to interact with, all the skills that infant will need. Equally well, if you're bringing up a young deer, a sika deer or something like that, and you want it to learn that tigers are very dangerous, you might need to have an animatronic tiger to frighten the young and the animatronic mother deer to actually run away. So you're establishing relationships between predator and prey and teaching both sides of the equation at the same time. That therefore means that you might actually be dealing with a whole animatronic ecosystem with multiple animals set up to perform key roles and key training tasks, and the artificial intelligence system will have to be able to learn from the behavior of the young to try and get them to do what creatures would do on Earth. It does sound very complicated, particularly as we're probably hundreds of years away from being able to do this. Although animatronic animals now exist, they're pretty stupid generally. It's going to take quite a lot of development before we get there, and you can actually dress a machine up as a tiger or as a great bustard and get it to perform the right roles without getting stuck or its programming getting lost halfway through. So I see there is a hope for re-establishing extinct species. On Earth you might do it by using a similar species to parent the young. So I believe the other day The remains of a monkey were found in a primate, were found in a Chinese emperor's tomb. So if they recreated the young infant of that species from the DNA, they've got no parent to use to train the infant, so they'd have to use a similar species. On Mars, then you'd have to create a machine to actually do the task and perform the role of the parent. That's how I see it. It's quite complicated, but it would be great to be involved in this in a few hundred years' time. It would be a wonderful project to take part in. Thanks for listening.